Welcome back to myjewelrybench.com and learning jewelry CAD design. Here we're going to open up Blender, and you're going to notice for the first time that you open it, it comes up with the standard screen. We're just going to close off on that. I'm going to make this full screen on the display. Here you see the little box that comes when you open it up, and on the left side here we have the Tools tab. There's other tabs here. This is called the Tools tab bar. Turn this on and off with the T key. Over here we have the object properties on the right. So every time you have an object, all its properties are here. And an object could be any different items, such as the box that's on the screen. And we'll go over this a little bit more as we're using the program. All the objects are listed on top. And then you can select a different object, its properties, its materials, its dimensions. Every single thing that appears on the screen will appear in this upper right box. Again, on the objects tools, you can see we can scroll up and down and get a different feel for what we can do to each object. Well, what we want to do now is install the add-on. So we're going to go over to File menu, down to User Preferences. And you can see this is the User Preference tab. And we have the Editing tab, the Input tab, the Add-Ons tab, Themes tab, File menu, and the Systems tab. The Systems tab we won't really use much, but it is here, and there are some things on it that we'll get to. Let's for now go to the Add-Ons tab, and let's begin by loading the two add-ons that we're going to do. You can see we're going to install from a file. And now this is where you want to go back to where you loaded the downloads that we put in. Remember, if you put them in your downloads directory or in a separate folder, what you're going to want to do now is go find that. Since my downloads are on the desktop, we'll click on Desktop, and you can see the folder. And we're going to start with the Asset Flinger, which is the library add-on. We'll click on that, and then click over to Install from File. It'll take just a second to install. You'll see a different window appear, and you put a little checkbox in that, and that activates the Asset Flinger add-on. And now here, under this browser window, we're going to actually go find or create a place where we can store our libraries. In this case, I started typing in C:\\, so we're using a PC right here. We're going to go up to the main root on the C drive, where I've created a CAD directory, and inside of it a Blender folder, and we're going to accept that for our library. Once that's accepted, I'm going to save user settings, and by saving the user settings, it remembers all the things that we just typed in and the add-on we just added into Blender. So now we're going to go and do one more, which is the Pbr Materials. Hit Add-on from File, Pbr Materials. Remember, these files are zipped. You don't have to unzip them. Install from File. Again, it takes a second, and then we'll just activate that right here. Click on that little box. I'll bring down the down arrow, and you can see you can get documentation and remove the add-on if you want to remove it. And we'll save user settings now. I'd like to just double check and make sure that everything's here. The add-on that we just did is they're not readily visible here. You get to them by keystrokes. You can see I'm selecting the box property. Now I'm going to go over to the materials option on the box. We'll click on this little circle here, and it brings down the material window. And you can see that we're in Blender Render, and there's no Pbr Materials here. Pbr Materials only work within the Cycles render engine in Blender. So I'm going to drop that down here, select Cycles Render, and we'll click that. And now we can go over and see that our Pbr Materials are now installed in Blender and ready for us to use.